Welcome to episode 4 of Jesus, His Words, and the Generative Life. In these videos, I'm attempting to look at the Gospels and just the words of Jesus to try to understand them more and the possible impact that they may have on our lives. Now today we're going to speak about Jesus, one of his most famous sermons, or the most famous sermon that he's known for, the Sermon on the Mount. Now some people think that the Sermon on the Mount is a bunch of rules. As you read Matthew chapters 5, 6 and 7, he starts off by saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for they shall inherit the kingdom of God." And he goes through all these things. But I'm not sure that Jesus is actually giving us a new set of rules. In Matthew chapter 5 and verse 20, we get a clue as to who's in the audience and what Jesus is all about with this sermon, the Sermon on the Mount. And this is what Matthew chapter 5 and verse 20 says. It says, "Unless you do far better than the Pharisees in the matter of right living, you won't know the first thing about entering the kingdom." So he's making a comparison between our living and the living of people whose professional job was to live righteous, the Pharisees and the teachers of the law. It seems like an impossible thing, but Jesus is making an incredibly important point here. The Sermon on the Mount, as far as I can understand, is distinguishing between religion and a relationship with Jesus himself. You see, religion is transactional. So what do I mean by transactional? Transactional is, if you do, I will. If you don't, I won't. I'll give you an example. So many times as Christians we believe, if I go to church, I read my Bible, I pray, I go to small groups, I serve the poor, I give my money, I do all those things, then God will bless me. And that's transactional. The problem is, when I read my Bible, I go to church, I pray, I give to the poor, I serve in the community, and all those right things, and things go wrong with my life. More than once, I've experienced people saying to me, "Mark, I don't understand why this bad thing has happened. I've lost my job, or my marriage has come apart, or my kids have gone wild, or whatever it is, because I've gone to church, I've prayed, I've read the Bible, I've tithed, I've served the poor. Why hasn't things?" That is a transactional mentality. In other words, that our performance is somehow linked to the blessing of God in our lives. And I think what Jesus is saying in the Sermon on the Mount, he's saying, no, it's different. A relationship with me is different to a transactional religious experience where we make a deal. I do, you bless. I don't, you don't bless. What Jesus is saying in the Beatitudes, that his love for us is undeniable, and that we're to live out this place of love. You see, loved people want to preserve, develop, and grow the love that they have for one another. Well, the reason why I'm faithful to Christine is not because I wear a ring, not because I have signed a paper that says I'm married. The reason why I'm faithful to her is because I love her. And the reason why I don't want to be unfaithful to her, because I know in doing that, it will affect our love for one another. So because we love one another, we want to preserve our love and grow our love. It's the same with our faith in Jesus. We don't try to please him by our behavior to gain his attention or to gain his approval. Our behavior is affected because we love him. You see, when you love somebody, you want to be poor in spirit. You want to acknowledge your weakness. When you love somebody, you actually want to be able to mourn. When you love somebody, you want to be humble. You want to seek justice. You want to be merciful. All of these are the Beatitudes. Those blessed are the things. I'm mentioning them not because we're trying to prove our love for God. Our response to his love for us is a changed heart, a changed behavior, a changed attitude, a changed life. It's so important to make that distinction, and that we're not trying to get God's attention or get his approval by the things that we do. We change our way we live because we want to preserve the love and the union, the relationship with him. So in summary, our union with him is not based on our performance. Of course, our performance can affect that experience of love. If I start doing things in contradiction to loving, then of course I'm going to face the consequences of that. When we are loved by somebody, and especially in this case, when we are loved by Jesus, we want to do the kind of things that build our love, that build our union, and build our relationship, and that don't hurt us and ultimately destroy our oneness that we have with him. I think the point of the famous Sermon on the Mount, it's not about self-improvement to earn his love. It's about a changed life because of his love. Hope this makes sense to you. God bless you, and thanks for watching.